It makes you giggle every time, that little clap, doesn't it?
I don't know why we do it, I don't get it.
Do you not get it at all?
No, I don't understand why we do it.
You don't get it?
No.
Have a think about it. Go on, just try and think. Why would you clap?
Because then you know that's the start of the whole thing. Because we waffled before, but sometimes
why
you use
would
the
that,
waffle.
Why would that be useful? Come on.
I don't know.
Dig deep. Go on. You've been around it long enough. Come on.
I don't honestly know.
Think about it.
What
What have you noticed?
Is it the noise?
There's lots of noise. Little
to get
clap.
it going. I don't know. No idea. Absolutely no idea. Wonder why you do it.
So when we film the Sunday morning show,
Yeah.
we have 3 cameras on us.
Pretty hot.
Okay.
And horrible.
We have 3 cameras.
Yeah.
To sync all the cameras together when you edit, you need a spike somewhere.
How would I know? How would I know that?
Helps you. Well, I would have thought you'd like to have known why I keep clapping.
You didn't tell me anything. I'm the mushroom of the company.
Little
Kept
joke.
in the dark and.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Sunday morning show in association with Golfing Days. The first, there it is. There is the new sign on the front there, Bernie.
Perfect.
Good morning
welcome
to you.
Abroad.
Abroad. Well, yeah, abroad indeed.
Yeah. Welcome aboard and thanks for your support.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard of Golfing Days, make sure you head down to the description of this video because there is going to be a link in there to take you over to some of their events. If you saw last week's Sunday morning show, you would have seen that we were on location at McInnes Peninsula in association with Golfing Days and their big event, their big final, which was won by the Cornish boys.
Cornish, yeah. One for the Southwest.
Absolutely, they held us all up nicely, didn't they?
And I think they celebrated the victory into the night by the sound of things.
Oh, was it? They didn't. They must have driven back.
Yeah, but I mean they were
Partying.
Yeah, they were enjoying themselves, weren't they?
Yeah, and it was a great event. If you haven't checked out McInnes Peninsula, make sure you check that one out as well because that is just delightful.
And I will definitely be entering a team next year in the event.
Yes, and I heard that, and that was kind of like a big announcement in our Thursday nights live that we put out, is that Bernie is going to be putting a team. He's going to be a captain of the DHG team. Correct. He's going to need 11 people to join him in a Golfing Days team.
Correct, yeah.
So what are you thinking then? You thinking more A team, B team, get more people?
Well, I mean, ideally, like obviously I'd run the A team. The B team would probably be run by yourself or Jordan, but
right.
If we can get enough people together, then potentially we could, maybe enter. You can enter as many times as you want, so we could enter 2 or 3 teams in different locations, different venues to suit, with an opportunity of trying to make the national finals.
Yeah,
it's decent value as well. I mean, it's a couple of days of competitive golf. You've got a 4-ball, better ball series, and also a singles on the 2 days, and then it's points combined and a winner goes to the final. So it'd be good to try and get involved.
What is amazing is if you bring all those points together, okay, so you've got 12 individual scores, you've got 6 4-ball, better ball. These are all stable for the scores that come in, okay.
I think for the qualifying, not all the scores count. So there's a little bit less pressure.
But in the final,
in the final, everything counts.
So we're filming all day for the final and sort of kind of waiting around towards the end, looking forward to the presentation and things like that, so we could get that filmed as well. And there's a tie.
You just wouldn't.
There's so many scores coming in that you think there can't be a tie. There's no way this is going to tie up.
No.
And there was then a playoff.
Yeah.
A 2-hole playoff, which was amazing and great like atmosphere and things that go on with it. It was getting dark.
Yeah.
But it was just like I was walking down the first hole as the playoff thinking, this is like I'm trying to calculate it in my brain as to how this can even come together like this.
No.
12 people all to post the same scores, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. Day. But a great event and well supported. And like I said, down in the description, check out Golfing Days. They are going to be part of this program moving forward. And so any support you guys have for them is absolutely welcomed.
But Thursday's live show went well, didn't it?
Thursday's live show went very well. So
enjoyed that.
Yeah, if you've not seen, obviously we've been putting up some information on it over the last sort of few weeks, but we've created a Patreon page, which is basically, to start things off, it's a draw. So you enter into a draw every month, and we then create a winner. We then draw the winner, and to do that, we're going to be doing a live show to be able to create that winner.
Yeah.
So yesterday or Thursday we went live for the first time.
Yeah, it was good. We so not only did we do the live draw, which we gave away a shot scope, free watch, and also a open polo shirt, but we also we invited questions from
The audience.
So we answered them. Some of them were swing related, others were just random questions. But yeah, it was good. It was good to interact. It was an hour-long show, which was all anyone who's part of the actual Patreon page was invited to it. So it was good. Yeah, we enjoyed it. It was a bit of fun. Me, you, and Jordan in the studio.
You know what? As it was the first one, I think we should cut to a little clip of it.
Okay.
Should we cut to a little clip and just show off exactly what kind of goes on in the actual live? Let's head down to the studio now and just show you what we got up to in our live show. So Bernie, if you just turn one over for me.
Okay.
All right, if you just hit a...
Do you want me to hit it?
I want you to hit a high draw, but just get the face shutting down for me.
Oh, you want a high draw?
Yeah.
Okay.
And generally what you'll find with this, Tom, is that your body may be slowing down. So that's kind of the shot that you're seeing from there.
Start left, go left.
Start left, go left. If I just come and have a quick look here, multiple balls. So path for Leicester there is he's got a 1.2 degree in to out swing path. So his path is definitely moving from in to out. However, his club face is 9.5 degrees close. So you can see from that line that even though he's got a swing path that's going in to out, look at where the ball's starting. It's starting left, going left, because the face is so closed beyond the path. It's close to the path and it's also close to the target line. So you're going to hit it with a big hook. If you're seeing ball flights that start way out to the right and then really turn over, then the chances are your swing path is a little bit more into out, but your club face is still closing. Now, the most common fault for this is as you start to come into the ball, and what I said to Leicester was just slowing the body down, what you generally find with lots of players that swing it into out and hit a high draw is that they'll generally start to move sort of laterally, hit this way, and then the path moves from underneath into out. Well, what happens there is if you get quite active, Tom, you're going to slow your hips down, your hands are going to take over, and then you're going to get this duck hook shot going on from there. Now, if it's with driver, sometimes you can get the ball starting in the toe too much.
That's going to over-exaggerate, isn't it?
If you're a player that swings it out to in and you go straight left, then the chances are you might be pinging it in the heel of the club as well, especially with driver. You see that ball go straight left off the face. It's generally because they've pinged it into the heel and it's going down the left-hand side. But that is the biggest thing that you need to focus on. So whatever you've got to do, Tom, you need to get that club face to be a bit more open, whether it's set up in your grip, whether you activate your hips a little bit more, which should slow your hands down. Little things like that can definitely help. But we'll be in contact with you and we will get that sent out for you probably tomorrow.
Will there be prizes every month? What's going on?
Absolutely.
There you go.
That's what's part of it. As we move on, we've got more prizes. However, as it's the first show.
No, not another one.
As it's the first show, let's pop that there.
Not another prize.
Well, when we went.
We did a bit of locusing, didn't we?
When we went to the 150th Open this year, FootJoy St Andrews, FootJoy campsite, amazing experience. Parts of it we can't remember, but amazing experience. I picked up a few shirts and I wanted to give away, I've saved a few, so I wanted to give this one away in the first one. So I've got this shirt. It's something that I'll probably keep forever because it's got 150
Yeah,
on
I've got the same one. Jordan's got one as well.
You know, it's something that you could even get players to sign over time, and you know, if you can get Cam Smith to sign it or whatever, you know, Cam Smith. Well, is that who we're going for? Yeah, well, he won it. So, or Rory McIlroy, whatever, or Cameron Young, whoever top three like that. You might even want to frame it and sign it, and in fact, Bernie might even sign it for you. Oh. Can we do another draw, please? You want to do another draw? I want to do another draw, and I want somebody else to win this shirt because I think it's important that we do that. Well, congratulations to Jay. I mean, that is a fantastic win. Jay Spicer won the V3 watch, so congratulations to him. But I was more impressed there that you could hit that snap hook on on call.
I would have struggled if you'd have said hit a straight one.
Well, yeah, that should actually be one of the questions, because hitting that line is a little bit more challenging.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. 100%.
But one of the things I
and
love
the closer
about
the
it,
pin.
and the close, and that as well. Yeah, you did well there. But one of the things that I love about the live show and is the fact that we've managed to be able to. When I say we, Jordan and Johnny have managed to be able to.
They've done a great job, haven't they?
They've done a great job. I basically sat down. Well, we all sat down around the boardroom table, and I said, right, guys, you've got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
To figure out how this live show is even going to work down in the studio, because that studio is, for me, it's the future of live shows within the channel, and to
100%.
test it, to pilot it through the Patreon page, to pilot it through the membership area. I think
it opens up lots of options for us to do lots of live on that page and on the channel moving forward. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, it opens up so many options. It's brilliant. It worked really well. I know some of the sound wasn't 100%, but it's still good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just because you set the bar so high that anything that sort of falls below, people say, "Oh, the sound wasn't good." But you got to imagine or think it was a live show.
Yeah.
So I thought
and it was
really
the first
good.
one. Having been the first one, I didn't want to come out the blocks stumbling. I wanted to come out the blocks punching and, really showing what we can actually do. And I think that having
that.
Yeah, and I think, like I say, there's 2 things that we need to focus on with it. That's the lighting and the audio. So we need to get that absolutely spot on, because those are key ingredients to having the best possible live show. You're never going to be able to create the live show in 4K.
No.
However, we're getting it as close as we're using 4K cameras, so we're getting it as close as we possibly can, the highest possible
Resolution.
Yeah, visuals out there. Oh, well done, buddy.
There you go.
You do listen occasionally.
Occasionally, not very often.
But what I'm excited about is, think about this, okay? So let's say we did, and let's go in, you could do a live coaching, like we did kind of bit last night.
Yeah.
You could do live coaching, so that somebody could be in there for a lesson. You could do a live coaching session. You could do live fitting,
Yeah.
which is always good. But what I kind of like the thought of is doing these little head-to-head things. And I know Lee and I started doing it where we did the Saturday evening showdown, which was basically we started off by going head-to-head, club to club. But at that time, we actually kind of run out of product to be able to do it. Whereas now we're in a position where we've come on a little bit more. We've got more product to be able to work with. We've got better contacts with the companies, and therefore they're going to give us more kit to be able to do these head-to-heads.
Yeah.
Well,
brilliant.
think about this. If you're watching the live show head-to-head, you can ask a question and say, Dan, could you just maybe put it more into draw bias? What does that feel like? Can you add the loft? What will that do to this bit? These are all things that you can interact with the audience.
I think we like that interaction, being able
Love
to get feedback and ask. When we create a video, it's from our own perspective, isn't it? But people want to know different things. They might want to know something so obscure, and you can just literally do it with a drop of a hat, which makes it.
Yeah.
Which I think will make the videos even better.
Well, I completely agree.
Big news this week, though.
Massive.
The bus tour is up to number 3 in Europe at the moment, as in. Because we were level with a particular tour, but now that tour's disappeared.
Oh.
We're going to be on that, just below Challenge and below DP World. We're in 3rd place now on our own.
Well, what Bernie is alluding to there is the fact
Good word.
that, thank you, aren't we coming on leaps and bounds? Right? We'll be passing our GCSEs before you know it, Bernie.
Doubt it.
What Bernie's talking about there is the Euro Pro Tour. Now, if those of you that don't know what the Euro Pro Tour is, it's been going for the best part of about 20 years.
Yeah.
It was a feeder tour, or is a feeder tour, into the Challenge Tour, which then obviously feeds you then into the European Tour or the DP World Tour. Well, sadly, they have announced this week that the Euro Pro will be ceasing. It will be coming to an end at the end of this year, at the end of 2022.
I think there's only one event left.
It will, one event left for the winter or whatever, and then it comes to a close, and they are literally pulling the plug on it now.
It's a shame because it's it's an important grounding area for up and coming pros or pros that are trying to get back into playing. I've caddied on that tour and I've been around that tour. I mean, we've had Paul played it for a number of years when he was starting out. Gillies
won
on it.
Kevin
Kev
Harper
won the Order of
won the
Merit.
Order of Merit.
James Roos played on it in the past. It's just a good grounding, good experience of tournament conditions over 3 rounds of a cut. There's cameras there, which is great.
Yeah.
It's set up like a tournament, obviously.
Well, it trains the guys in so many ways. Financially, they have to figure out how they're going to support themselves for certainly that year on tour. So that's grounding number 1. Media training, being interviewed, like Bernie said, having cameras around them, things like that. Dealing with the cuts, as you said.
It's a good standard as well.
Travel, living out of a suitcase, for that period of time, trying to find all your accommodation, setting up your practice rounds, doing all those little things that might seem small things, but ultimately, if you're coming new into it, when you've been involved in college golf or county golf or England golf, that's all organised for you. You do not touch a thing. Like, they sort everything out. When you come into turning pro, you've got to then figure it out for yourself, unless you've got a management company behind you. But if you're playing on the Euro Pro, you're not going to probably have much of that. So massive foundation.
Will they have to do something if the challenge, or will there have to be some sort of qualifying? Because I know they gave so many places, didn't they? And they used the rankings on the Euro Pro for starts when they were short on the field and stuff.
So let's go back to when it kind of first kicked off.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it first started, it was the Euro Pro, and then it turned into the PGA Euro Pro because it got some affiliation with the tours. Okay, and it was a mini tour ultimately. It was a mini tour, and then they managed to get a couple of starts to get onto the Challenge Tour. And then it kind of grew from there. And interestingly,
top 5 go automatically on to Challenge, don't they?
Yeah, I think that's probably right. But what was really interesting about it, as a PGA Pro, all I saw was the Euro Pro going like this and the PGA events doing this. So what that meant was that all those starts that used to be getting into the BMW, all the other tour events, Challenge Tour events, they were being lost for PGA pros, and then being given more towards Euro Pro events. So it was from a PGA. I got really confused with it because obviously I went into golf turn pro, and the only route I could see was you had to be a PGA pro to be able to play and do all those things. But what it actually did is it opened it up for people who just wanted to turn pro, didn't want to necessarily focus on education and studying their PGA, but they wanted something to play in, which was straight into playing Euro Pro.
Yeah, because you could go and qualify, couldn't you, at the start of every year and get a particular ranking or card, depending on how you did at qualifying school. But that would still guarantee you some starts. There'd be tournaments, particularly towards the end of the year, where people had run out of money or not done quite as well as they'd hoped. And there were some starts available. So it was a good starting point. But I just wonder where the starting point would be now, whether the clutch Jamaica, things like that, whether they're going to now push on a little bit or get a little bit more media attention. Are
you not surprised? I'm surprised. I honestly thought that, like, let's be honest, okay?
Yeah.
The cost to run a tour like that is huge, okay?
Yeah.
To generate income, to generate sponsorship for that event, that tour to run, you need to be quite high profile on media, within on TV, okay? And yes, they do run Sky Sports. Sky Sports obviously run it.
Highlight package, isn't it?
They do a highlight package. What time's that highlight package go out?
I'll be absolutely honest with you.
You're at
10
work.
years ago.
You're at work when it goes out.
10 years ago, it used to be on in the evenings, and it was repeated several times.
Yeah.
It was like 8 till 10 on like Sky Sports 2 or whatever, not on the main. But it was on, and you could find it quite easily. I'll be honest with you, the last 2 years I've not seen one event. I wouldn't even have a clue when they're on or what times. They're not really pushed. And if they're, like you just said, when people are at work, they're not even in prime time viewing, are they? So it's not going to get any...
So therefore the people aren't going to sponsor it. So they're going to lose out on that. But what I am surprised about is instead of just shutting something down, surely it would come up for sale. Like, do you want to buy the Euro Pro Tour? Would it not be something that is a sellable product?
Do you think they would? I know in the past when companies have folded, I mean, I used to follow the wrestling quite a lot. There was 2 big companies, WCW and WWE, which was WWF. When WCW went bust or they sold it to WWE, and they paid for some of the contracts of the people that were still wrestling.
Yeah.
and they paid for like the TV time, they paid for the actual naming rights and all the sort of history and the videos and stuff of that. So you'd think they would almost sell off what they've got. They must have a saleable item at some stage, doesn't they? They must have events lined up for next year, tournaments in place. They must have got some sponsors or potential. Yeah. So you'd think they'd sell what they've got to a company who then could just push it on, wouldn't you?
I do know from a source. I do know that it didn't. Where you'd think it would probably make lots of money.
No, I wouldn't ever make loads of money.
It was kind of a break-even project. They weren't necessarily making any headway with the actual brand. No. So I think it was one of those where, how sellable is that to somebody? How can you
a lot of companies lose money, don't they? Let's be honest. For sure. So I mean, if it's breaking even, then you'd think that someone would better rejig it around slightly and then make a profit if they were running it for a profit. But you'd think even some of the feet. I mean, you'd think like the Live Tour would get involved, wouldn't you? And think, hang on a minute, there's a good feeder tour there.
And here's a good one, right? So you talk about growing the game.
Yeah.
The Europro helped grow the game in some way, shape or form because it helped people come through the system, help them on to, as we've talked about, all those experiences that we've just said. That's growing the game. As far as I'm concerned, that is kind of growing the game. If you had a local Europro Tour event around here, or you've got a young kid coming out of your golf club who wants to go off, and that's growing the game as far as I'm concerned. It gives people to aspire to get to.
Correct, okay?
What is going on? Why is that shutting down? And it's like the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer with it.
It's like
it just doesn't make any sense that would be allowed to happen.
It's like quite a lot of the local football teams don't have a youth team. No youth set up, so no academies or anything like that. Which, because they say it costs them too much money and they don't produce enough players through that academy because they all want to go to like Man City or Southampton. Because Southampton are quite big down as well with their academy. So they shut the academies down. So the players don't then feed into the smaller clubs and then get sold on. But it's almost like that, isn't it? Where's the breeding ground for the next load of aspiring professionals? Unless you're an England international or you've got a good amateur pedigree, then you're not. There's not really, if they don't play clutch Tour Jamaica and they get invites onto challenge, and I don't see how that's how you're gonna progress. Well, it's gonna be difficult. I mean, the best players will progress, but it's gonna be difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure somebody will take the baton and move it forward, whether it's like the Jamaica Tour or whether it's the Clutch Tour or whoever it will be. It's
a well-known brand as well.
Hopefully the PGA get involved. My PGA organisation, hopefully they look at it and think, do you know what, there's an opportunity there to do something with that. Could we help, progress that on and give opportunities to PGA pros at the same time? Who knows?
That's to sync all the cameras when you do that.
Oh, and you switched on little cookie. Switched on cookie this morning, didn't you?
I think I've crumbled.
Yeah. You did. Well, let's talk about crumbling because let's talk about Dartmouth.
Should we not?
Should we?
No, let's not.
Should we talk about Dartmouth?
Let's not. Anyway, moving on.
I mean, there are many people out there, and I don't want you to get on the defensive because I know you get a bit anxious about stuff like that. But you said at the end of that vlog that we did a match-up, myself against ladder series, myself and Leicester at Dartmouth, okay, which had its big roller coaster ride of ups and downs and highs and lows.
It started so well.
Didn't it? Part one, if you could have shut it off
out in a Ferrari, back in an ambulance.
Love it, yeah. But yeah, so at the end of that video, should we say, you said, I need some lessons. Where are you at? Where are you at? Talk to me.
Well, I've got a club final, which is not this Sunday you're watching, it's next Sunday, I think, which is the 9th.
Okay, yeah. So this one's
I've got a final, so I just want to get through that really, and then make a bit of I'm going to have a couple of weeks of not playing golf, I think, just put the clubs away. Obviously, if we're filming, I'll play in the film, what we need to do. And then I'm going to have a real think about what I need, like a winter program. I think, like a little bit of a direction.
Yeah.
And then set some targets.
Yeah.
I'm going to seek professional help as well. I'm just trying to address a few issues really, and just try and get my game back. I don't think I'll get it back to a level it was 10 years ago, but I'd like to get better or get it certainly better than it's been
Okay.
the last couple of years. Because I've not really enjoyed.
A little winter program.
I enjoy my job, and I'm not moaning about that or anything like that. And I enjoy playing on blog, and I enjoy hanging out with people, but haven't really enjoyed the golf aspect as much as I should be enjoying.
Yeah.
We get to play some wonderful golf courses, and I'm grateful for that. And we hang around with our mates and play golf, but haven't, because my golf is. I know people go, "Oh, you still play decent golf. It's better. I'd love to play what you do and do this."
But you have to.
And I don't want to make it sound like I'm being negative.
When you've played
all
at
the time.
such a level, it's more. For the way I look at it, okay, and we've talked about this many times in the bus, but you know, when you play golf, you go out there and you've got to create. You know, it's your hobby as well. I know it's part of your job. But on a weekend, it's your hobby.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's nothing worse than playing golf when you're feeling a bit anxious and a bit. It can drive you mad. Like it, you know, when you've played to the level that you've played at, okay, to then now in a position where you're, I'm going to use the word like, because I get it occasionally, but loss of confidence, a little bit nervous, anxious, whatever the word you want to use for it, it can punish you a little bit. It can make you feel not wanting to be there, and therefore, if your brain is then saying, well, I would rather be here, not here.
No, I mean, I've got to the stage where, like, today I'm going down to film you and playing a tournament, and I'll enjoy that more than actually playing golf, which is, it should never be that case, should it? Like, I'm looking forward to just walking around with a camera, you know, a bit of banter, filming you, whereas I want to get back to really enjoying my golf again. And this is quite an in-depth thing, isn't it?
I know, this could be a long show.
But like, the ladder series is obviously stroke play, I know it's only 9 holes, but when I'm playing in competitions in a medal, when the card's in my hand or a Stableford, I'm having 1 or 2 bad holes, which is meaning my handicap's staying where it is or going up. But if I then go and play in a team event, played in a team event the other week and I had 5 shots off of my 6 handicap, I parred all 5 shots, then had a couple of birdies, I come in and people go, "Oh, you're a bandit," but I generally don't want to be
they don't see the 3 or 4 or 5 holes.
I picked the ball up because I would have been making a 7 or an 8 or I lost the ball, and it's just, and I find that quite difficult, that people are almost thinking I'm doing it on purpose when I'm not, and I find that's part of it. Like when you're going somewhere, "Oh yeah, but you're miles better than you." Like, "Oh yeah, why are you off that handicap and I'm off 3 shots lower than you?" I'm not consistent.
And in some ways, like,
and that's hard.
Some people would say, "Oh well, you need to play maybe a little bit more defensive in those holes where you're making big numbers." But where does that stop though? Because you're then going to turn your whole game into a defensive game. Which
no,
then
but it's not that, because I can miss a 2-foot putt and then it goes. I'm gone for 4 or 5 holes.
So it's not necessarily you hitting it wild off the tee.
No, not necessarily. No, I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong. I do hit wilder shots now than I ever did. But that's not. I miss a green, and you know, at Dartmouth, that hole on the 5th, 6th.
Yeah.
6th. I've missed the green right, and I probably landed the ball a foot short of where I wanted to land it, which it would have gone onto the green. It probably wouldn't have gone that close. It's hit the downslope run through the green. I've then failed to get it up, duffed another one, and I've made 7, whereas you should be making 5 there, or maybe 4 even. Like, and it's just it compounds everything, doesn't it?
Of course it does, yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, hopefully I can get it together and.
Well, I would like to know though, down in the comments from people, are you in the same boat as Leicester? Are you somebody? We had this conversation in the live even, where somebody said they lost a bit of interest in the game in some way, shape or form, going through some highs and lows. I'd like to hear it down in the comments.
I've not lost interest in it. I just
but you want to time out for a minute.
Just a couple of weeks to reset and then get a plan, really, because I feel a bit.
Are you in the same boat as
clouds.
Leicester? Are you going to be looking at a winter project for this year because you've lost a bit of confidence? Down there. This week on the channel then, we've finally got the game organised. It took 2 days to get it sorted, but we got there. So we drove down this week down to Lanhydrock.
A couple hours away, wasn't it?
Hour and a half. And we had a lovely lunch, but didn't get on the golf course, because what we were doing is we were playing our match against the Order of Merit winners. So number 1 and 2 from the bus tour, Richard and Tony. Tony being number 1. Richard finishing 2nd in the Order of Merit. Those 2 played against us. So the next day we came back up here at Churston, because that's the only place we could get on, and we managed to get our match done and completed. So part 1 will be coming out. Monday, tomorrow. Yeah. So look forward to that one. Bit of banter, bit of fun. Some properly good golf.
They're going to be every week, aren't they? Every Monday.
I think so. I don't know. Jordan's got a plan, so we'll let him just. What will be, will be.
We would ask him, but he's still in bed. So
Yeah, we haven't quite got him.
no, he's not got up this morning yet, has he?
Yeah, that's the way it goes when you're that age. You just stay in bed a little bit longer, don't you?
Yeah,
Apparently.
and we're down. We've got an exciting week this week, haven't we?
Exciting week this week. Yeah, we're going to be heading. So we've got Challenge Tour event on Tuesday that we're going to down at St Mellion. So we're going to do hopefully a little bit of work down there, and then we're heading up to Kent to do some filming with Lee Whitaker.
Yeah.
So I have no idea really what's on the schedule, but we are planning to get a vlog done and we're planning to get a ladder match done.
Yeah.
So there is quite a bit going on this week as well. So it should be an exciting week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Anything else that you would like to report for the Sunday morning show, Bernie?
No.
Well, there you go then. I think we should shut it all down. Well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend and, well, enjoy the Dunhill. If you're watching the Dunhill links, no idea how that's going to be going, but it will be breezy, rainy, and quite miserable, I imagine, in Scotland. So if you are watching that, enjoy that, and we'll see everybody again
See you next Sunday.
Next Sunday.